week of prep. I think the guys are ready. I think we're relatively healthy. Obviously, we've got time yet to kick, so we're going to take all of it we can to tighten down on some of the mental aspects of the preparation. But I think the team's feeling excited, and that's where you want them. We got a tough challenge ahead. They know that, but again, just like all year, it's been about us. It's how we play and how we bring our identity and execute our system. So that'll be how we close out the prep, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Do you expect Zen Wood to apply for a waiver to get another year?
Yes, I do.
Is that automatic-ish, or
meaning it being approved?
Yeah.
I don't take anything for granted. I think he's got a great case. I mean, he hasn't been able to participate outside of I think 2 games, and
three games.
3, but the third he got hurt. Yeah. So it's just obviously I think that makes his case really strong. And he hasn't even been able to get back into practice, so it's just, we've tried, he's tried, it's not responded, and I think that the case is strong, but again, you never know, and you want to provide all information you can to make it as strong as you can.
So is he for sure out for the season then?
Yeah, we won't, at this point, we're not pushing him to put himself at risk of further injury, and he's just not able to play, and so he won't be participating.
So I looked up some YouTube videos about vicing the ball, and I sort of know what it means, but not. Can you explain that? You say that a lot.
Yeah, this would be a great off-season workshop. Seriously though, where we can show and talk about some of those things, because there are times in front of the team I'm talking about things that you take for granted sometimes, just the awareness all the way around. It reminds me of year 1. I was talking, this is probably for 3/4 of the season, about complementary football, and at the end of the year, last few games, one of the players in the hallway, I heard him saying, "Hey, what is complimentary football?" I'm like, okay, well, we haven't done a good enough job. So vicing the ball, in zone structure in particular, when the ball is thrown underneath, you should have a vice between a force leverage player and an inside out player. So essentially what you want at the finish point is 2 tacklers. Now there will be a primary, usually, sometimes those guys will meet at the exact same time, inside and outside. But most times you're going to have an initial contact player and then an inside-out player that forms the vice. And what we talk about very specifically is, in the pursuit of the ball, chasing the cheek of the ball carrier. So not being in front of the ball or getting stacked on the ball, because a lot of the most explosive runs are vertical cutbacks. So inside out pursuit, the line should be to basically the back hip of the ball carrier always. And what you're waiting on as you pursue is just a force player to leverage it, and then you have a chance to knock it down from inside out. And a lot of times that's where turnovers occur, but sometimes players play the game as though they're the only player on the field, and so the ball breaks away and they take a line at depth. And when you get stacked on the ball, right, that's when you let the ball back inside. That's when you give it space and kind of give the play life. That is a very fast and probably not thorough enough explanation, but vicing the football becomes really important to the elimination of yards after contact. We talk about it's 50% what we play, that's our system and structure, it's 50% how we play. And the suffocation of the ball is a component of how we play. So playing hard, again, vicing the football, we talk chasing the cheek, straight burst when it's, the play against Auburn that scored, the screen against South Carolina. When you don't see vertical space taken to the ball on any level of football, those plays run out on you. And so those are things that we talk about, we teach, we train, and we've done that since the winter. And, just over time, it becomes kind of a part of your DNA.
Watching LSU looks like they do a little stretch run plays. I don't think since Missouri anybody's done that. So do you draw back from that, or is that too much? Is that not much of a difference?
Texas had some too. They were a stretch team. Every team's a little different in how they run it. So certainly I think with Missouri, you're kind of building a plan around it, and they're really effective. I mean, that's their DNA. LSU has kind of they run a broader spectrum of runs, and so certainly that's a part of it, and you have to have awareness, but there are other runs that they run effectively that are going to also need our attention. So we haven't built the structure around defending that one play. It's kind of like part of the menu that we know we're going to see.
I saw Eli Stokes accepted an invitation to the Shrine Bowl. Does that mean he's definitely going to the draft?
I don't think that means anything definite. I think those conversations are yet to be had, and we're supporting him through that process. I mean, for me personally, I want the best for the player, and we want to make that appealing to them to return in terms of the resources we put around them, how we develop them. Obviously, NIL is a part of that now, and those kind of things. But also, there comes a point where my job is to facilitate the dreams of the staff, and make sure they're moving along their career, and facilitate the dreams of the players. And we'll take time at the end of the season to kind of sit with he and his family and figure out what the next steps are and what do they need from us as far as information goes, because Eli Stokes is going to be an NFL player. We know that. Just we want to provide the most information we can to give him clarity on what exists here and to make sure he knows what exists there, and then support him through a decision-making process. So nothing definite yet, but certainly, a possibility that he's a draft pick, and that I'd be excited for he and his family if that's the case.
You might have already been asked this, but is this better than you thought you guys would feel at this point in the season, health-wise, or because nobody's questionable or anything like that?
I think our kids are very committed to what the mission is and what they're a part of. I also feel like when you've got to credit our strength and conditioning operation too, because they've done an incredible job of training our team. Our team is just in good shape and physically more capable, and hasn't been exposed as much to injury that obviously we've had a few, but not nearly what we've incurred in the past. Our training staff, and then this is an area too, I give Jerry a lot of credit. I mean, he's helped me a ton with respect to the push and the pull, and I've mentioned this in the past, but sometimes the hardest thing to do as a head coach is to find the moments where more isn't better, and so shaping the practice schedule down and keeping the guys fresh. And last week, the guys that have played a lot of football. I mean, we kept them out of football activity. I mean, those are things that haven't necessarily been a part of our process in the past, but I've learned a lot that way. And what you want is it to give way to results here late, and we need to obviously go play our best game against a capable team this weekend, but hopefully our kids feel physically ready to do that.
All set?
Happy birthday, Brendan Ross.
Thank you.
For everyone. Yeah, good.